Good morning, good morning, good morning, you lovely lot. It's about 2:30 and just going to bed. So, had a great day and we were all settled down for the evening, having had dinner. Nice cup of tea, you know, relaxing. And I'd got the window slightly open by me and I could hear a noise. And I was saying to Daryl and Keith, couldn't you hear that noise? And they were going, no. Well, I can hear a noise. So they turned the heater off because that was kind of making a noise. And I could hear moaning. And I said, someone's either having a really good time or a really bad time. And then I heard, help. I was like, no, someone's really hurt themselves. Literally pegged it out the door. Didn't have any shoes on, in my pyjamas. Ran out shouting, hello, can you hear me? Where are you? And there was a guy who had been walking his dog around the caravan park and had fallen over. The dog had pulled him over. Somebody had caught hold of his dog for him. Somebody had just come out of their caravan near where he had fallen. And he couldn't move. I think he's either broken or dislocated his shoulder. He was on the floor. He'd put himself into the recovery position, actually, because it was the most comfortable position for him. But he could not get up. He was in so much pain. So Keith called an ambulance and then went and waited at the top of the road to try and, you know, flag them in. A few other people came out. I said, could we have some cushions and stuff for him to rest his head on? And somebody went and got him a blanket. Yeah, poor guy was in a lot of pain. 3.5 hours it took. 3.5 hours for an ambulance to arrive. I know we're in the middle of nowhere. I know the NHS is underfunded, but seriously, he was on a cold floor on a field, just outside in agony, couldn't get off the floor. He was, you know, he's 60. It's not like he's, you know, 60's no age, but it's not like he's 20 or, do you know what I mean? I just really felt for him. He was clearly in a lot of pain. We couldn't give him anything for the pain relief, you know, to help him. So he's been dealt with now, and bless his mum. He was up with his mum. He'd got his mum in the caravan with him, and she was probably 80s, 90s. Looked quite frail, and she wouldn't go in. After she found out he'd hurt himself, she wouldn't go in, and we were then worried that she was going to get ill and cold and what have you. So Daryl went and got the car and brought it round and put her in the car with some hot air blowing on her so she would warm up. But hopefully they'll sort him out. Hopefully once he'd got some gas and air they could move him, but even so, with the gas and air, he was in a lot of pain, bless him. 3 hours we sat with him. 3.5 hours, nearly coming on 4. 3 times we rang for the ambulance. It's not on. It's not on. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed now. I'll get up at some other point this morning. In a few hours, no doubt. And then I need to drive home and go see my family.
Alright. We're not ready to move yet.
There you go.
Got it?
I've
That's
got
it.
it. There you go.
Put it back in your mouth, matey. It wears off really quick.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, round 2. God, look at the state of me. Those straighteners really don't do a particularly good job of doing hair. They just don't get hot enough in the van. And it's the first time I've tried them after actually washing hair, as opposed to just having a re-straighten after sleeping funny. But yeah, they don't get hot. So I just got to try and sort of unkink the fringe a bit this morning. I woke up at 7 despite the fact I didn't get to sleep until nearer 3. Oh God, I've got to drive home today. I feel absolutely exhausted. But it has to be done. I've got to drive home. Oh, look at the state of me. No makeup on yet. Daryl's just messaged me and said he's about to have a shower. And then he's making scrambled eggs, did I want some? I was like, yeah, I'll throw some clothes on. I'll be over in a minute. I feel bloated. I don't know why. I mean, I have eaten a load of stuff, but yeah, my jeans were a bit tight when I put them on this morning. They are freshly washed, so I mean, that always makes a difference to your jeans, doesn't it? I'm using you as a mirror, look. But yeah, they just don't get hot enough to really do. But I'm going to put my hair up, and this will just straighten the bits that tend to fall down and make it not quite so bouffant and all over the place. I'm going to use my proper straighteners when I get home to finish the job off properly. Better than nothing though. My hair would have been absolutely all over the place if I hadn't had these to use in the van after I did my hair last night. I wonder how the guy is. I wonder how his mum is, bless her. I know someone was looking after her, took her into their van with them. But I don't know. Good job we heard him, otherwise he could have been, like Daryl was saying, if he'd, or Keith, I can't remember who said it now, but if he'd, you know, fallen and hit his head, he could have been out there for a long time before anyone saw him. So, you know, it was pitch black, and there's no lighting on this site. I've actually stayed on the site overnight, which I shouldn't have done. But bearing in mind it was 2 o'clock by the time, you know, we dealt with the ambulance, and yeah, you know, had a cup of tea and warmed up in front of the fireplace in the caravan, and then got into Spog and got myself settled for the night. Of course, you've got to let yourself wind down, haven't you? You know, when you've had something like having to call an ambulance, something, you know, a bit traumatic happen, yeah, you just have to have a bit of time to come back down, don't you, really? Process and come back down. I think I've worked out what's wrong with the diesel heater. I don't know if I've said this. My brain is just gone to mush now. But what was I saying? So I got distracted. There's somebody outside. Where's my water? Yeah, I think it looks like the fuel pump, when I turn the thing on, is pumping fuel under the van, under the exhaust pipe of the heater system. So fuel's obviously not getting into the system, which means fuel lines become disconnected or something. There's literally a kid right outside my van with his dad. I don't think they've looked inside to see that I'm in here. And he's found the Star Wars AT-AT on the back of my van, bless him. And they're having a conversation about it. They literally got their head right up against my window. But I don't think they've realised I'm in here. Oh, bless him. That's really cute. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Fuel line's gone. Fuel line. So it needs to be reattached. So we'll do it. Right. I have a breakfast date, so I better smarten up a bit. So we've popped into Bakewell, but it's absolutely heaving. It's far too peoply for me. We've managed to get a parking spot in the overflow car park on a field. So I'm literally going to go and get some Bakewell puddings with my mask. And then I'm heading home. I'm not going to stay and do the market or anything. It is just too peoply. And quite honestly, I've got a pounding headache. And I am exhausted now after all of yesterday's debacle. Popped into Bakewell to grab a quick pudding, and it's heaving. Wah, 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 wah. That is the lock bridge with lots of padlocks on it. The bulb there, yeah, it would make a nice lamp.
Nice, isn't it?
Porky pig. Big fish. Everyone's moving out of my way. Big vehicle coming through. Time to go home. It's ever so warm today. I'm not good with crowds at the best of times, but I certainly don't want to be in a crowded place. But to be fair, I'm working, but I'm going to be keeping myself to myself a bit more over the next couple of weeks, just because obviously social distancing was completely ruined last night with having to deal with the guy that fell over. When you got a couple of us knelt down around him helping him, and all breathing over each other, that's gone, well and truly out the window. Other than that, being up on the hills, I've managed to avoid a lot of people. Even though it was busy in some parts of the hills, everybody sort of moved over and gave people space. But this is too much with all these people. You just can't get away from them. Just walking through to get what I needed was too much. Too much. I was literally hugging my Bakewell tart and my Bakewell pudding for life. Almost like fear that I was going to, it was in some way, it was my puddings were going to protect me. They were like a shield holding them between me and the people. You can see how busy it is. Oh look, there's a queue for the actual Bakewell pudding shop now. That's what I was not prepared to stand in, was this queue here. Glad I went to the other one. Did you miss your mother? Terribly.
Yeah.
Did you cry and pine in the night because I wasn't here for you?
I was too busy sleeping.
Did you pine and cry for me while I was gone? Oh, boy! Did you pine and cry for your mother?
Yes.
Good answer. Bakewell tart, not Bakewell pudding, and tea. Nice. From Bakewell. Brendan.
Bakewell's Bakewell tarts.
Bakewell's Bakewell tarts. Everyone's been asking, how did the job go?
Good.
Good. What did you have to do in this job?
I wrapped some things.
Okay. But you put nubs on. What are these nubs you put on?
The black kind of corner nubs that stop you destroying the corners when you put
Okay,
things on
so it's a
top
furniture
around.
company.
Yes.
Okay. And then you said you didn't do that in the afternoon when everyone else had gone home for early finish. What did you
because there
do?
were no longer any completed units coming
Okay.
shipping way.
So what did you do?
Scraped glue
From?
panels.
Okay. But you enjoyed the
I
day?
felt ill because, you know, the glue dissolving thing.
Smell?
Yeah, it does. I read the label and then I was like, oh dear.
Did you have to wear a mask all day?
No.
That was all right.
I wore a mask most of the day until it got kind of soggy.
Yeah. So, I've got a mouthful there. You enjoyed it?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And you're going back this week. So you're now a fully employed person for this agency. And then we'll continue looking for an apprenticeship, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well done, that man. Very proud of you. Good evening, all. I am back with my lovely family. Seen a lot of me, haven't you, this afternoon since I got back?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the top of my head, closed eyes,
Yeah. Twitching.
tracked up. Yes.
Not stopped.
I have passed out because of all the walks we've done, and then obviously all the malarkey last night, and then I woke up and I had a stonking headache. And as you saw, I popped into Bakewell, but it was too peoply, and I was just like, I need to be away from people. So yeah, I just ended up driving home and unpacked the van. Said my hellos to everybody, and then I curled up and went to sleep next to Lee. Oh no, we did watch Zach, didn't we?
Watch the Bagans, yeah.
We did watch Screaming Rooms. There's a lot of tractors going past
There's
tonight.
been a lot of tractors the last couple of days, backwards and forwards, more than there should be.
Well, all the tractors in the fields on the way home were cutting grass, so I think it's grass cutting season. I think there's... Oh, my teddy's just fallen on my head. But I've had an amazing few days away. It was really lovely. For those of you that were asking after Brendan's job, as you've just seen, he's enjoyed himself and he's going back. So he's still looking for an apprenticeship. But for now, he's going to be earning and he's going to be happy, and, you know, he's doing something. Kenzie goes back to school on Thursday. I've got a bit of a busier week this week. We're getting back into sort of the swing of things. I'm back to 8 till 6. So start earlier again tomorrow. Be back to sort of normal hours. Lots of new faces coming and lots of old faces returning over the next couple of weeks. So that'll be good. And apparently the guy that had his fall yesterday was being kept in hospital. Daryl spoke to somebody this morning just before I left, and they said that they believed he'd been kept in. So I don't know any more about that. But I saw his dog being walked this morning around the site. Oh, that's Brendan being noisy. I saw the dog being walked around the site and thought, oh, who's walking his dog? And then it was his elderly mother, who is apparently not good on her legs. But she was walking back up to the caravan. So I was like, okay, otherwise I'd have run over there and said, let me take the dog for you. She'd obviously walked the dog this morning. She's one of those independent ladies by the sound of it. Even though she was very wobbly, she was very stubborn last night, you know.
I'm a strong, independent woman.
Thank you, Brendan.
I don't need no crutch.
She did need a walking stick, bless
I
her.
don't need no man.
No,
I'm a strong, independent woman.
Brendan's having a moment. Right, I'm going to stop waffling. It's been a very waffly day, but I'm sorry there's been very little to actually show you because I've slept through most of the day. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow.